You've seen us drinking here, so either join in or swear you won't tell a soul. You won't want to end up like Lucas now, would you?
All right. I wouldn't mind some wine.
That's more like it. Sit down and have a drink, my lad. Ah, down the hatch.
Every gulp a treat, isn't that the truth?
No wonder. With our throats going dry all day.
Next time we'll get the Yorick to bring some Rhine wine. I'm losing my taste for this one.
Why doesn't Yorick drink with us, anyway?
He's young, and he wants to look good in front of the others. And he doesn't trust us to keep him safe from harm if he got too drunk to make it to Prav.
You mean like your good self last Christmas Day? The way you drowned out the prior's voice by snoring through the Agnus Dei?
Don't remind me.
What would you like?
I'd like to ask you something. What are you doing here?
What does it look like? Drinking.
But we're all monks.
Youngster, when you're as old as I, you'll understand.
Why not? I've had enough opprobria and obedientia for one day.
That's what we like to hear.
Let's drink.
That's the idea. And what should we drink to?
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is. But wait a minute, lad. Which one?
To Abbot John.
That's more like it.
Let's play.
Just the man we've been waiting for. My friend. So, let's play. Ah, down the hatch.
Every gulp a treat, isn't that the truth?
No wonder. With our throats going dry all day.
Next time we'll get the Yorick to bring some Rhine wine. I'm losing my taste for this one.
Why doesn't Yodak drink with us, anyway?
He's young, and he wants to look good in front of the others. And he doesn't trust us to keep him safe from harm if he got too drunk to make it to prayer.
You mean like your good self last Christmas Day? The way you drowned out the prior's voice by snoring through the Agnus Dei?
Don't remind me.
What would you like?
I'd like to ask you something.
Praise be to...
I'd like to ask you something. What can you...
And what can I say?
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yorick is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager, perhaps too eager. Siskin is good company, but a bit too worldly for a monk. Antonius is hard-working and will...
I'll say one thing, brother. This wine will brace the boots. I'm not so sure.
God be with you. That's a good boy. That's my boy.
It is written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciples' part is to be silent and to listen. And for that reason, if anything has to be asked of the superior, it should be asked with all the humility and submission inspired by reverence. But as for coarse jests and idle words or words that move for laughter, these we condemn everywhere with a professional ban. And for such conversation, do not permit a disciple to open his mouth. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent among his disciples, but demonstrating the divine precepts by his actions for those of harder hearts and ruder minds. The abbot should always remember what he is and what he is called, and should know that to him more is permitted. From him more is required. Let him make no distinction of persons in the monastery. Let him not love one more than another, unless it be one whom he finds better in good works or in obedience. And let him not shut his eyes to the faults of offenders, but, since he has the authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin. Penny, priest of the silent, well disposed. authority, let him cut out those faults by the roots as soon as they begin to appear. Remembering the fate of Heli, the priest of Silo, the well-disposed and those of good understanding, let him correct with verbal admonition the first and second time. But bold, hard, proud, and disobedient characters he should curb at the very beginning of their ill-doing by stripes and other bodily punishments, knowing that it is written, the fool is not corrected with words. And again, beat your son with the rod, and you will deliver his soul from death.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you. There's the Alchemists Laboratory. You'll find ingredients in the chests next to it. Today it's your task to concoct 2 potions to aid digestion. Once you finish them, you'll find me somewhere nearby. Don't forget to let me know when you're done so I can check them. Talk to me, brother.
I've finished my work.
Show me what you've made. Spectacular, Gregor. You've found your talent. Soon enough, you'll be teaching the other novices.
Talk to me, brother.
I'm here to work.
Excellent. I've been waiting for you.
Oh, this is quite inexcusable, boy. Can you even read? written, in much speaking you will not escape sin. And in another place, death and life are in the power of the tongue. For speaking and teaching belong to the master. The disciples' part is to be silent and to listen. And for that reason, if anything has to be asked of the superior, it should be
Talk
asked
to me,
with
brother.
all the humility and submission inspired by reverence.
I'd like to ask you
But as
something
for
about the
coarse
monastery.
jests and idle words or words that move to laughter,
I'm looking for something a little,
everywhere with a perpetual
unorthodox.
ban. For
And
such
what would
conversation
that be
do not
exactly?
permit a disciple to open his mouth. The rule of Saint Benedict, readings on daily manual labor. Idleness is the enemy of the soul.
I'm looking for
Therefore,
lockpicks.
brethren should be occupied at certain
Lockpicks?
times in manual labor,
And what would you like
again,
those
fixed
for?
hours in sacred reading. To that
I'd like to
end,
practice
we
opening
fix
locks,
times
just
each
for the fun of
being
it.
prescribed as
Well,
follows.
why not?
From Easter
So
until
you heard I
the
used to be a
rising of
burglar,
the
did you?
When
I
they
put it
come
all
out
behind
online
me
in
as
the
soon as I
morning, let
took the
them labor
vows.
at whatever is
But I do
necessary
have a
until
few
about the
lockpicks
fourth
left.
hour. And from the
I'll
fourth
trade
hour
them for
until
food.
about the
Get me a
sixth,
bite to
let
eat,
them apply
and you can
themselves
have your
to reading.
lockpicks. Can't say
After
fairer
the
than that,
sixth
can
hour,
I?
having left the table, let them rest on their bed. The rule of Saint Benedict.
Let's talk about the prop.
Humility. The first
Alright.
degree of humility is obedience without delay. This is the virtue of those who hold nothing dearer to them than Christ.
Satisfied?
Because of the holy
It'll take
service
more
they
than-
have professed, and the fear of hell, and the glory of life everlasting. As soon as
Agree?
anything has been ordered by the superior, receive it as
I'd
divine
almost
command.
shake on that.
Cannot suffer
Almost.
any delay in executing it. But this very obedience will be acceptable to God
Very well.
and
I agree.
pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his work will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring. And far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction.
Peace be with you, brother.
God be with you.
That damned Sigismund, the lawlessness he brought to this land, will have no peace till the afterlife. Have you been to Ujits to visit your parents' grave?
Aye. This year it's 12 summers gone since they died.
Time flies, eh? My Agnes has been gone now for 4.5 years. And still it seems like only yesterday she went to the good Lord. I can feel it in my
Aye.
The
You're
things
right
we-
there.
God be
Life
with
is
you.
short.
Started aching just before they raised Skalax. And now they hurt again. But worse than last time. I'm telling you, something is gonna happen out there.
Might be wrong. And besides, God won't. Brother, what are you doing here? Shouldn't you be working somewhere? Idle hands are the devil's workshop.
Come now, brother. Aren't we friends? Would you really punish a friend for one rash act?
This time I'll look the other way. But next time you won't get out of being punished.
I'm Gregor and I'm new here.
I know. I saw you in the church during ceremony. I have the feeling we'll be meeting again soon, and often. You see, I'm the circator.
What does that mean?
I make sure everyone observes the rule, does their work, and that everything's the way it should be.
And when it's not the way it should be?
Then we're authorized to mete out punishment. But certainly you won't require correction, will you, brother?
I'd like to ask you something.
Salve, be well.
Salve Domini.
Servus.
The wine barrel in there. It's not the first barrel in there.
strong constitution. He'll still be on this earth.
God be with you.
I'm telling you, someone's been creeping about in the corridor at night. What am I saying? Creeping. He was stomping about like a bear.
That must have been Brother Circator. He can't sleep and prays long into the night.
Abbot Peter's health is deteriorating. They say he won't make it to the autumn.
No. He has a strong constitution. He'll still be on this earth for many years to come. And with all good health upon him.
What do you desire?
I'd like to ask you, can you leave the monastery?
Where would you go? You've everything you need here. Anyway, all the doors here are closed and locked tight, so no one can get in or out.
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
Peace be with you, brother.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Can you tell me something about yourself?
I would if there was anything noteworthy to say. But I'm just the ordinary son of a landowner, now a monk. There's nothing in my past, present, or future that anyone could find interesting.
Why did you join the monastery?
Because it was better than living in poverty. As the youngest son, I'm not entitled to inherit my father's estate, but he was kind enough to sell off some cattle and send me here. And you know what? I'm glad to be here. It's better than mucking out manure.
Peace be with you, brother.
I'd like to ask you something about... Well, that's all. Thank you for your time, brother.
God be with you.
Someone's been creeping around in the corridor at night. What am I saying? Creeping. He was stomping about like a bear.
That must have been Brother Cicada.
Can't sleep and prays long into the night.
Don't even look at that cabinet. It contains forbidden books. You're interested in what's inside? Forbidden books, written by the devil himself. Forget about them.
Service.
God be with you. What would you like?
I'd like to ask you.
I'll say one thing, brother. This wine would grace the Pope's table.
I'm not so sure. It's a bit... Talk to me, brother.
You mentioned Yodok. What does he do for you?
Well, nothing much. He's just a little suckling like you. He'll do whatever it takes to stay on our good side. Sometimes we make use of him when there are errands to run.
Where'd you get the wine from? I thought the monastery cellars were guarded.
So they are. But this wine isn't from the monastery. Listen, lad, would you help us out with something? This cask is almost empty and we need a new one. We're a bit old for such exertions, but you, on the other hand...
I'll help you. What do I need to do?
Ha! I knew it! Help Novice Yorick arrange for a new cask. Talk to him first thing in the morning, and by tomorrow night, the cask can be on the table.
All right, I'll talk to him.
like to ask you something about the monastery.
Let's drink.
That's the idea. And what should we drink to?
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is. But wait a minute, lad. Which one?
To Peter.
So, to Peter. He's done so much for us, but his time is at hand. To his immortal soul.
Let's drink.
That's the idea.
How about to the abbot?
To the abbot it is.
To Nevlas.
To Nevlas? To the abbot he's never been and never shall be? No, lad. A toast to our future abbot, John.
I'll be going, brothers. It's been good to sit with you a while.
Favour, brother, stay a little longer and have another drink with us. Here, some wine for you.
Oh, all right, but that's the last cup.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery. What can you tell me about the novices here?
And what can I say? You're here to demonstrate your devotion to God and to live a monastic life. After a year, you can make your vows and become a fully fledged brother.
I meant something specific about the brothers that are here.
But you know them yourself. Yorick is an odd one, but he's diligent and eager, perhaps too eager. Antonius is hard-working and will help.
Let's drink.
That's the idea.
How about to the
abbot it...
To Abbot John.
That's more like it.
I'll be going, brothers. It's been good to sit with you a while.
Do us a favour, brother. Stay a little longer and have another drink with us. Here, some wine for you.
Oh, all right, but that's the last cup. I'll be going, brother.
Do us a favour, brother.
Oh, all right.
I'd like to ask you something. Can you tell me something about the rule of...
7 centuries ago, St. Benedict of Nursia wrote a collection of monastic rules, which we still follow today. They're read at every meal. The fundamental precepts are obedience, work, and prayer. We're fully devoted to serving God. The outside world, beyond the monastery walls, is foreign to us.
Do you never want to know what's going on out there?
And what should be going on? The sky is just as blue, the grass is just as green. Perhaps the rulers change, but the greatest ruler of them all will remain unchanged throughout the ages.
Can you leave the monastery?
Where would you go?
What are the roles of the various monks here?
Well, the abbot is the head, but he's not here now. Then there's the prior, the sub-prior, the librarian, the porter, many others. As a novice, you should be particularly mindful of the cicatas. They're the ones who maintain discipline. And
I'll be going, brothers. It's been good to sit with you a while.
do us a favour,
Thanks, but I won't have any more. I need my sleep.
As you wish, brother, as you wish. We'll be heading off soon ourselves.
Ah, down the hatch. No wonder. With our throats going
Ah, Gregor, talk to me.
I was talking last night with the brother Cicators. It seems you're to fetch them a cask of wine, like last time.
Well, yes, it's true.
I'd like to help you.
Would you really do it? To get hold of the wine, we'll have to leave the monastery for a bit. I know it's forbidden, but we've no other option. If wine started going missing here, someone would notice. But to leave the monastery, we need the keys. And only the prior has those.
Wait a moment. Are you saying I'm supposed to steal the prior's keys so I can go and steal wine somewhere else?
You see why I don't want to do it myself now, do you? I don't have what it takes. I can't get those keys, but you could. Or you might be able to pick the locks.
But you've done it once before, haven't you?
Last time the prior was sick, and he left the monastery keys in the Circator's care. So they unlocked the gates for me. This time we'll have to steal the keys.
How can I get hold of the keys, do you think?
I don't know, but it might be possible to do this without them. Brother Celarius, the cellar keeper, used to be a burglar. He knows his way around locks, and maybe could help us, if you could find a way to arrange it.
Do you think he'll want to take part in theft?
No, but he could give some advice, or maybe get some lockpicks to open the gate. You'll figure something out.
If you think so, I can try.
Once you have the key or some lockpicks, come and see me and we'll make our plan.
About those keys.
Did you get them? Keys? Or at least lockpicks?
Not yet.
Well, hurry up then. You don't want to keep the brothers waiting. Visit the cellar keeper. He can help you.
What is it, brother?
Brother, I've a favour to ask, and I think you're the man to help me with it. Or you used to be, before you came here.
I see, so it's the dodgy sort of favour, is it?
Well, yes. I need to get hold of the keys to the monastery.
That won't be easy, I can tell you that straight off. The prior always keeps the keys close by him. So how exactly do you imagine I could help?
Could you take the keys off him?
Rob the prior? You've got to be joking.
You wouldn't be doing it for free?
Then what could you possibly pay me? I'm done with my thieving, and you'd have to offer me a whole lot of groschen to change my mind.
How much would you want?
A princely sum, brother. This is no trifling matter.
That much? Where am I supposed to find that much coin? No one here has any money.
Precisely. But no groschen, no theft. And think twice before you ask me that kind of favor again.
Brother, I've a favour to ask, and I think you're the man to help me with it. Or you used to be, before you came here.
I see, so it's the dodgy sort of favor, is it?
Well, yeah. How could I get hold of them?
With great difficulty. Unless you want to rob the prior.
Is there any other?
The door out of the monastery is like any other. Only the lock's more complicated than most. But I can sell you some lockpicks. And with a little training, you'll make short work of it.
There's something else on my mind.
Brother, remember the vows you made. We're forbidden to leave the monastery. It's not for me to sit in judgment, but think hard about what you're doing.
I'd like to ask you something about the monastery.
Can we do something about... Are we agreed?
You can't be serious. You won't convince me with a beggar's alms. No.
But this very obedience will be acceptable to God and pleasing to men only if what is commanded is done without hesitation. Delay, lukewarmness, grumbling, or objection. For the obedience given to superiors is given to God. For if the disciple obeys with an ill will and murmurs, not necessarily with his lips, but simply in his heart, then even though he fulfills the command, yet his work will not be acceptable to God, who sees that his heart is murmuring, and far from gaining a reward for such work as this, he will incur the punishment due to murmurers, unless he amend and make satisfaction. The rule of Saint Benedict. Readings on the abbot. Therefore, when anyone receives the name of abbot, he ought to govern his disciples with a twofold teaching. That is to say, he should show them all that is good and holy, by his deeds even more than by his words, expounding the Lord's commandments in words to the intelligent disciples, but demonstrating the divine...
What's the meaning of this? Have you been possessed by an evil spirit?
What have you done now?
The abbot should always remember
Mother of God, what are you doing, you wretch?
Stop,
What have you done?
Doing you, wretch. Done now.
Brother? Stealing?
I've had enough.
You dare
I apologise.
I still need to look through your pockets to see if you have a weapon here in the monastery. I don't care where you got it or why, but clearly your intent.
You failed to complete your trial period as a novice. You are hereby banished from the Order of St. Benedict. Be gone at once.
They're thrashing each other there! Stop them! Guards! Help! Stop that brawl before they beat each other to death! Here! Help! Somebody help!
Get him!
Damn it!
Where did we advance to? You must be inside.
Is that the best you can do? That's him.
Is that...
Yeah!